Okay, guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome to Blue Point TV, where we talk about football and football related stories. Right, guys, we'll talk about transfer. Let's talk about the players that Chelsea are trying to sign. As you know, Chelsea are seriously chasing Michael Olise. They really want to get the player from Crystal Palace. They're really chasing this player. And for me, Olise has shown that he can be a top player. He has shown that he can be a world class footballer. Obviously, Chelsea have been chasing this player for a very long time. Even from last season, they have been chasing the player. They want to sign the player. But then somehow they couldn't get the deal done because Crystal Palace wasn't happy with them, saying they went to the player first. They could have come to them first. They went to the player first. So they wasn't happy that Chelsea went to the player first. Now his former release clause is the release clause before last summer was around 30 or 35 million pounds, I think. But now he signed a new contract last season, which he had, got another release clause, which I think is around 60, double the, other release clause, around 60, 65 million pounds now. And for me, that price for Olise, I feel like is good because the player is a very, very good player. For me, one of the best winger in the league easily. So just are really serious to get the player. Now let's jump on um what Fabrizio Romano said here about how Chelsea are chasing, Olise. Yeah, he said Chelsea have been granted permission to talk to Olise as considering him as their top target for this summer. Crystal Palace have offered Olise a new deal also with increased salary and new release clause from 2025. Bayern and Newcastle have also permission to talk to Olise, while Chelsea are pushing to agree on contract. Chelsea are confident and will keep insisting on the deal. No intention to give up. Depend on the player. Operation Olise for Chelsea is to agree personal terms as they are prepared to pay release clause full amount. Now he's saying Chelsea are ready to pay the full amount for the release clause, which is around 60, 65 billion, as I said before. And for me, like I said, now the reason why they want to pay the full amount is because they really want to get the player. They don't want to have any kind of issue with Crystal Palace. They just want to pay the full release clause. But then what they want to do first is to agree personal terms with the player. They want to agree with the player first. Then when they agree with the player, they know that obviously Crystal Palace have given permission to go talk to the player. So if they can agree with the player on personal terms and contracts, and everything, I think the deal will be done. Now, based on the report, Bayern Munich and Newcastle are also interested in the player. They've also given permission, by Crystal Palace to talk to Olise. But I think Chelsea are leading the race. I think Chelsea will sign the player. And also, if you want to compare these teams that are chasing the player as well, Bayern Munich, obviously the big football club, massive football club. But will Olise want to go to the Bundesliga? I'm not too sure. I don't think he will want to go play in Germany. I think he likes it in the Premier League. And for Newcastle, they are not in Europe. They are not playing in the Champions League. They are not playing in the Europa League. They are not playing in the Conference League. Obviously, Chelsea are not even in the conference. Sorry, they're not even in the Champions League. And also, obviously, they will not be playing in the Europa League, but they will be playing in the Champions League. Sorry, they will be playing in the Conference League. So, Olise, I think he will choose Chelsea over these things because Chelsea have been chasing him. And some of these players, they want to come to the team or to the club that have been shown interest. It's just like I said, though, how he came to Chelsea. Chelsea have been chasing him for a long time. Even when Liverpool later came, he preferred to come to Chelsea because Chelsea have been chasing him. So he will feel like this club really needs me. So I will choose them over any other club. And obviously Chelsea, they are a bigger club. Chelsea is a bigger club than Newcastle. So that one also will count. Chelsea are also in London and Crystal Palace also in London. So that one also will count. So for big, I think Chelsea will get the player. They just have to, finalize the personal terms and agree on that one. So I feel like Chelsea will get the player. So what's your thought? What's your opinion on Olise potentially, coming to Chelsea if it happened? How well do you think the player will perform if he comes to Chelsea? Because I think him coming to Chelsea, even if Chelsea do not sign, the very best striker, As you know, they are going for John Duran, the Aston Villa striker. Like this other striker they are going for again, we'll talk about that one. But guys, I feel like if Chelsea do not even sign the very best striker, I think with Christopher Nkunku, if he can be fit, with Cole Palmer, Nicholas Jackson, with these attacking players that we have, adding Olise, I think Chelsea will open up teams. I think Chelsea will score a lot of goals, with Olise in the team because we know how good he is. We know how good Olise is. So, yeah, it will be interesting to see if the deal happen. It will be interesting to see if Chelsea can get this one done. So, your feeling on this one, your thought, your opinion on this one. And also, guys, let's talk about another striker that Chelsea are trying to sign from Atletico Madrid. Now, this player hasn't played for Atletico Madrid. They signed him last summer and then they loaned him to, I think, Alaves in Spain. Now, the player is around 20 years old, I think, and it looks like they really want to get the player. So, let's just talk about the player. According to Fabrizio Romano here, this is what he said about the player. He said bid from Chelsea for Samu Omorodion, around 30 million euro plus, and add-ons to 40 million euro package. Chelsea keep considering Omorodion and John Duran as option for new striker. Atletico Madrid insist on their plan to keep Samuel Omorodion. Now, this player, I do not know the player. I've never watched him, so I don't know how good he is, but it looks like he's, just big, strong striker. Now, according to the report, based on what I've watched or listened to, they said the player played around 35 games last season for Alaves, right? And he scored about 8, 9 goals. So I begin to wonder, player that's played that numbers of games. Now I don't know, most of those games maybe he came on as substitute. Some of those games obviously he will start. But the numbers of goals that he scored is what I'm not and I'm not sure like if Chelsea should go for that kind of player. Not, I mean, because I feel like he played a good numbers of games, 35 games, and then scoring 9 to 8, I mean 8 to 9 goals. I feel like he should have scored more. But then you never know. One, he's playing for a smaller team. Possibly they are not feeding him as they will not feed him as much as club like Chelsea will feed him because of obviously if he comes to Chelsea, Chelsea have better players than Alaves, right? Chelsea have players that will give him assists and give him opportunity to score a lot of goals. That is if he's clinical enough. But according to Fabrizio Romano here, he's saying Chelsea have already bidded 30 million euro upfront for the player, and then including add-ons to be around 40 million. Now, Atletico Madrid, they turn it down. They don't want to sell the player. It looks like they want to sell the player, and also it looks like the player himself is not even ready to go to anywhere. He wants to play for Atletico. He has never played for Atletico. They signed him and then they loaned him out last season. So he wants to play. So for me, I'm not too sure if this deal will happen, knowing that Atletico themselves are not ready to sell the player. And according to Fabrizio Romano, he's saying even if they want to sell the player, they want to sell him for around 70 to 80 million euro. That's too much for him, knowing that he hasn't even played a lot of football. It's not proven, and then they want to sell him for that kind of price. So for me, I don't think that one will happen. I don't honestly know why Chelsea are going for him as well, knowing that it will be difficult to sign him, knowing that Atletico Madrid don't want to sell him for that amount, and also they don't even want to sell him at all. And the player himself wants to play for Atletico. So for me, I feel like the deal will not happen. And the player is from Spain, it's a Spanish player. So yeah, your thought and your feeling on this one. Do you think Chelsea should still push? Because according to the report, they say they are still pushing for the player. They still want to try to see if they can get the player. So for me, I don't know. I feel like, knowing that he hasn't done anything in terms of the level that he hasn't played to the level that we want him to play. Yes, we understand that when Chelsea signed Nicholas Jackson, it was like the same thing. Because Jackson hasn't really played much for Villarreal, but then they signed him. Maybe they are seeing something like that again, going for this player, but knowing that the player himself is not even ready to play, to leave Atletico Madrid now, unless Atletico Madrid just want to, take the money and then let him go. That's the only way I feel like he will want to come to Chelsea. But if the Atletico Madrid really want to keep him, I think the player will stay. I don't think he will want to leave Atletico Madrid. So, what's your thought? What's your opinion on Samu Omorodion, linked to Chelsea? Your thought or your opinion on that one? You let me know. And also, guys, please, follow the channel on Facebook. Share the video, it's really important. Blue Point TV. We're also on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel Blue Point TV. Like the video, it's really important you like the video. Thank you, guys. Stay safe while I see you again.